We will start as we always start. Observe your breathing. As you focus on your breathing, maybe it's at the tip of your nose, the sound or the feeling of your breath coming into your body and your breath leaving your body. Your home base, your neutral, your tranquil state. We use our breath for a number of things as a compass. Where am I? How do I feel right now? How is my breath reacting to the world around me, to my environment? Do I feel safe here? Do I feel content here? Am I having a reaction to something that happened 10 minutes ago or a half hour ago? Sometimes we need to investigate that deeper. We'll have a reaction and need to trace back. And we know if we're having a reaction by our breath. Is my breath smooth? Is it even? Is it rhythmic? Is it choppy? Is it stuck somewhere? Is it not going somewhere else? No judgment around any of this. Not good, it's not bad, it's information. We observe ourselves, we understand ourselves, we get to know ourselves by continually checking in with our breathing. Make this a habit as you sit through the day, as you walk through the day, continually check in with your compass. Where am I? Who am I? How do I feel? How am I acting? How am I reacting? And as you continue to observe your breathing, maybe you change your breathing. Maybe you sit up a little taller. Maybe there's some other motion, some loosening, some opening that you want to take. And so as you continue to observe your breath, we've covered a lot of ground so far. We've learned about our breath. We've learned how to use it as a compass. We've learned not to judge where we are with words that may or may not truly mean anything. Words have whatever meaning we allow them to have, whatever we agree that they mean. And they mean different things to each of us. And so when someone is saying words to us, it's coming from their side. They're not saying those words in a way that we understand. They're saying those words as they understand it. Even more reason to not judge. No good, no bad. But does this move us in the direction that we want to head in? And how do we know that? How do we know what direction we want to move in? It's that feeling of success. It's we know what that feels like and we chase that now. Is this moving me in the direction of my goals? And then we find ourselves entering new spaces. We carry our breath with us. It's our security. It's our home base. We carry that with us everywhere we go. And as we enter these new spaces, new things come up, new opportunities, new obstacles, new feelings, new interpretations. And we can become hesitant as we enter new spaces. But then we use that same lens to analyze that. What does it mean to belong in this space? There's not always going to be an invitation. Welcome to this space. Come in. I've been waiting for you. I need you here. Welcome. I'm choosing you. Please come into this space. There is not going to be that. There's no white knight waiting for you to come rescue you and whisk you away to this place where you all belong. There's no miracle pending, waiting for you. to step into it. A lot of this is what we allow it to mean. And so, as I say these things, how does that affect your breathing? Does it make you more comfortable? Does it make you less comfortable? How do you handle this? How do you conceptualize this? You breathe in, you breathe out, you observe how these things impact your breath. These new spaces come with borders and boundaries and barriers and opportunities. With rules or norms. But when you think of a piece of property, it's got boundaries in a legal sense, in a social sense. But on that piece of property, who makes that grass grow? Who makes the rain fall? Who allows the birds to fly in and out of the trees? No one does. Our boundaries are made up. Our boundaries are what we agree that they are. And so we move into these new spaces. We can respect those boundaries if they make sense to us, if those boundaries are meaningful to us. We don't have to. Sometimes they don't make sense. We choose how we act. We choose how we respond. We choose how we react. And that works both ways. We set boundaries, we set borders, and we hope that other people respect those. That is up to them. How they interact with our boundaries is up to them. We don't control whether people respect our boundaries or not. We do control how we react. And so our breath, our security, our home base, we carry that everywhere we go. We check in with it. Does this make sense to me? Is this in line with who I am and who I want to be and who I'm becoming? Do I acknowledge these boundaries? Do I understand these boundaries? Do I agree to these boundaries? And when someone does not agree to our boundaries, what do we do? How do we act and react to that? And in that sense, we always belong. We have our breath with us. There's space for us. We belong there. It doesn't mean that it's comfortable. It doesn't mean it's the way we prefer it to be. But a tulip grows where it is. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wonder if there's enough sun or if there's enough rain. Because there is space, it means that I belong. And maybe for our last few minutes here, you think about the boundaries that you've set. And you think about people respecting those boundaries or people not respecting those boundaries. How does that impact your breath? How does that land in your body? We don't choose how other people react. We don't choose what things mean to other people. We only choose how we act and how we react. As you breathe in and you breathe out, as you think of your boundaries and your borders, your new spaces, your hesitations, and your excitement, you observe how these things affect your breathing because it's information about yourself. And this practice of our mind wandering away and us compassionately bringing our attention back to our breath, it trains us to be able to drop things that don't serve us. We don't need to go down every rabbit hole just because it's there. This does not serve me. I drop it. I come back to my breath. I come back to my path. I come back to the direction I want to go in. And then I go there. The words, the boundaries, the belonging, it means whatever we allow it to mean. And so we adjust our lens. We adjust the lens that we see the world through. Someone may call someone ugly, and that person may fall apart. Someone calls someone else ugly, and that person may take it to mean, I'm free of your expectations. We don't need to interpret things in the way we assume they were meant. We get to interpret things in a way that makes sense for us. We get to belong in places that make sense for us. We get to set boundaries that make sense for us. We control our actions and our reactions. Bring your hands to heart center. As you breathe in, lift your heart space into your hands. As you breathe out, push your hands into your heart space. Become familiar with this heart space. Lead from here. Breathe in, lift your heart into your hands. Breathe out, push your hands into your heart. Open your eyes, look around, pat the edges of your body, come back to yourself. Say your name to yourself. Go out into the world, explore new spaces. We will see you tomorrow.